What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and yes, I am back talking about Predator Hunting Grounds. It's been a very long time. Welcome back to everybody, including, again, myself. So, in this video, we're going to be talking about the new mode, and we're going to be talking Clash, and we're going to be talking about the new map, both of which I've played. I played a decent amount of, and I feel like, at the end of the day, I've played enough of it to be able to give my opinions on. Now, you guys have known, if you have been following me over the last several months, that it's been a very up and down road when it comes to Predator Hunting Grounds, right? Very, very high on this game leading into its release, probably the first couple months, and then I definitely trailed off. I did not like a lot of the things that they had done with this game, and I think some of that may bring its way into this, but we will go from there. If you guys like these videos, and hey, if Predator keeps doing stuff, I will obviously continue to cover it. Make sure you guys are liking this video. Make sure you guys are subscribing. If you haven't already, follow me on Twitter, Podcast Now 15. We're getting very close to 40,000 subscribers here, and 1,500 followers on Twitter. Would be really awesome to hit those benchmarks very, very soon. So let's talk about Clash first, because I feel like, to me, that's the biggest game changer, because it is. This mode, I will tell you right off the bat, is, I think, really fun. I really do. I think it's something special, and I will say this. I doubted them that they could make it where multiple Predators were on screen at one time. I didn't think it was possible. I didn't think this game was designed or they had the capabilities in their own souls to have, really, if you think about it, 8 people on the screen at one time. Didn't think it was possible. Didn't think it was possible to also have 3 versus 3 and 1v1 kind of all going on at the same time. There is something special to seeing your team have a Predator and their team have a Predator and the two clashing together. What I will say is I feel like, and I've seen people say this is a mode that I think gets people into the game. It's very, very easy to jump in. People are playing it, at least, right now, right when it was first, released, people were playing it. You get in very, very quickly, and it's very, in my opinion, very simple. You go to the marker, you capture it, and you stand there. And I mean, obviously, the enemies come at you, and that's it. They change a lot of things in this. You take your damage is basically through the roof. Now, I don't know if they're going to kind of nerf things or buff things depending on how things go over the next couple days, but I feel like it's somewhat fair if you get basically your eyes on a guy, right, and you have you have your weapon aimed at them and you fire off a pretty reasonable amount of shots. I feel like where it is right now, I will say I like the damage kind of basically the damage system. That I feel like it's worthy of. If they hit you enough times and you go down, kind of makes sense. Headshots obviously also give you a bit more, and so you're gaining points until you can become the Predator. Now I actually only played this like 3-4 times. I never got to be the Predator. Actually, one of the times it offered it to me, and I was like, I think it was the very first time I played, and I was like, no, I haven't played this game in 2 months. I'm not going to play as the Predator. I'll let somebody else, play as the Predator. Predator obviously has his own kind of weaknesses in terms of they can't use certain of their abilities, again, to make it a little bit more fair for the other fire team. But look, I do think this is actually kind of a cool thing because you're fighting with people that actually have brains. When you're fighting, against them, if you're defending something and they're attacking, I mean, I didn't see it all that much right now, but I feel like as people continue to play this and as people get better with it, there's going to be different ways of doing it. Pretty much as of like the first day it came out, it was just you rush in, maybe you hide behind a car. I mean, I try to do that. I try to hide behind cover, try to sneak up on the enemies. A lot of times the other, I was going to call them the AI, a lot of times the other team kind of like blatantly missed me. Like I felt like I was in the open, but nobody really saw me. So I'm sure as it gets, going, it'll be a little bit better. Maybe there'll be people that play as like a scout that kind of like stay far away, that are like just sniping people, you know what I mean? Like there'll be more tactical things. It's not the greatest thing in the world though. Like I don't see myself, and that's the issue I have with Predator right now. Like I guess post 3 weeks into the game, that's kind of my main issue with it. Since then is that I don't feel like there's anything that continues to make me want to play. Like it's fun, you get in, you play it, you get out. Again, seeing because I didn't even know, so I only thought when I went into it, I only thought one person person could be the predator. But then I noticed, I saw my predator, and then I swore I saw the other team have one. I was like, holy cow, is there really two here? And actually, I do believe one of the matches I played, both of the team's predators actually like fought each other. Now, we helped ours, so we actually defeated theirs, and ours stayed alive a little bit. But, it can get really cool in that way. And the predator, again, is not too powerful. Like, if all of you kind of gang up on it, you can take it down pretty darn easy. Again, is that something that they're going to change, or maybe they'll make the weapons a little bit weaker, maybe they'll make the predator a little bit stronger? Maybe. I just feel like it is very, very simplistic. I feel like you only, and I think this is true, you only get points from capturing. You don't get any points from taking out an opposition and the opposing team. You don't get anything from that technically. So, it's a mixed bag. I would say overall I do enjoy it, but my biggest weakness with it is, and also, by the way, the kind of area that you're defending is the smallest capture the hill that I've ever seen in my entire life. I don't know if they did that on purpose or what, but it's very, very small actual area that you're trying to defend. I do like that it always switches, right, that you have to kind of go to the next area. I feel like that would add to the Predator point of view game, because the Predator can maybe get there faster. Predator can maybe like stalk it out a little bit, right? Whereas the Fire Tamer, you're just running to it. So overall, I would say this is a really solid mode. I didn't think this would be what they were going to do. At the same time, though, I don't think it's anything like, holy God, like this is, I know I said game-changing. It does, because it adds a new level to this game, or like I said, like people that are just getting into this game, I think this is a really good match. You can just get in, play it in like 7 to 8 minutes. You get in right away. There's no waiting to be a Predator in terms of like, if you play as the Predator, you have to wait like 5 hours basically. There's nothing like that. I think that's good. I think that helps the value of the game. At the same time, it's not something that I could see myself playing every day or all day. You know what I mean? It's not that kind of thing. And then as for the new map, look, that one is a much more mixed bag. So I don't like whatsoever that, 90% of it is still the jungle. And they made that very clear, even in the blog post. They said, like, they want to stick with, like, they were like, don't worry, it's still in the jungle theme. It's like, yeah, but nobody actually wants that. We've talked about night maps. We talked about a city map. We talked about maybe even like a space map. I mean, there's so many different kinds of ways they could go. They choose to still make it almost exactly the same. The cave system is cool. I don't want to discredit that, because the cave aspect is actually really awesome. Having like kind of like the openings in the ceiling in a couple different spots is really cool. So the cave part of it and having the multi-layer kind of functionality of that is really cool. But again, the rest of the map, which, by the way, the cave is in my opinion, is probably only like 10% of the entire map. The rest of the map, I mean, yeah, they're new buildings, they're new areas, but it's the exact same thing. And so to me, playing it, it's like, okay, it's tough, because yes, I have been asking them to do a new map, right, for like a decade, and that's been a thing we've all kind of said, and yes, adding another map, so, oh my God, we're spoiled now, guys, because we have 3 maps instead of 2. While that is definitely a positive, you still, for the most part, are playing the exact same thing. And if we're being honest, with that, I mean, like the train area in one of the other maps, like that will always be kind of like a cool place, like those warehouse buildings where the Predator jumps on it. Like that'll always be kind of an iconic location of like really fun. But besides that, maybe like when you leave in terms of like the waterfall part, but besides that, and if anything, the cave map, this excavation map, actually makes the other 2 look a lot weaker, because there's really nothing special about them. Again, I guess there's a couple small things, but they don't have a signature location like a cave, which again, cave good, rest of it bad, and then it kind of actually weakens the other one. So that one, I mean, just flat, and maybe I'm being unfair. You guys can, I've obviously, as time has gone on, I know I've had a more negative opinion on this game, and I know that not everybody shares that. It's okay. It's okay to disagree. What I'm saying is, and again, to be transparent, I was kind of disappointed with this going in. So my opinion of it was already kind of warped, because I was like, again, I just don't want a jungle. And yes, I get it's a cave, but it's also actually 90% a jungle and then 10% a cave. So that doesn't do anything for me. Let me tell you that right now. I thought a map could vastly help this game, not this map. And another funny thing is I had to play this game, I believe, 4 or 5 matches before I actually got into this new map. So there's only 2 other maps besides it, and for some reason I got those maps 4 times in a row, and then I got this on the 5th try. So maybe they're doing something where like they just don't want you to be on that map. You would think maybe I know a lot of people probably would want to play it right now for that map in particular. I feel like honestly after a couple days, maybe a week max, it's not going to really be anything. Although again, Clash mode, that is something I think could stick around for a while. And honestly, I think that could be something that could actually like grow and become something big over the coming months. We'll have to see how much more support this game gets. Hopefully, they're not just going to leave it. I get it though. I mean, they've supported it for 5 months at this point. Eventually, they'll make a new game, so that's all something we're gonna have to keep our eyes on. But guys, let me know in the comments below. What do you think? What do you think about the new mode? What do you think about the map? Do you think they need to add anything else? I mean, obviously, I think they need to add other stuff. Do you think they will? Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed to this YouTube channel, Podcast Now. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. And like I said, if you guys aren't already following me on Twitter, Podcast Now 15 is my Twitter handle. Thank you guys so much for watching. If there's anything else on Predator that happens, I'll absolutely cover it, and I will see you all there.